Hey everyone, thanks for being here. I want to share a story with you today, one that taught me a pretty valuable lesson about shortcuts and listening to that little voice in your head. I was in my early 20s, living in a town where the oldest cemetery was smack in the middle of everything. It was a well-known shortcut to get from the downtown area to my neighborhood. I'd used it a dozen times during the day, but never at night. One evening, I was running late. My phone was dead, and I just wanted to get home. Against my better judgment, I decided to cut through the graveyard. At first, it was almost peaceful. The moon was bright enough to cast long, skeletal shadows from the ancient oak trees. The only sound was the crunch of my own footsteps on the gravel path. I felt a little smug, thinking about all the ghost stories people told about this place. Then, I heard it. A distinct snap of a twig off to my left. I froze, scanning the rows of headstones. Nothing. I told myself it was just a squirrel or a raccoon and kept walking, a little faster this time. A few moments later, I heard a different sound. It was a soft, dragging noise, like someone shuffling their feet through a pile of dead leaves. But there was no wind. The air was completely still and suddenly felt 10 degrees colder. The hair on my arm stood up. I stopped again, my heart starting to hammer against my ribs. I was halfway through, caught between the entrance and the exit, and a primal fear began to creep in. I knew, with a certainty I couldn't explain, that I wasn't alone. That's when it happened. A whisper, so close it felt like it was right beside my ear, breathed my name. It wasn't a shout. It wasn't a threat. It was just my name, spoken in a dry, airy rasp. For a second, I was completely paralyzed. Every irrational thought flew out of my head, replaced by pure, cold terror. I didn't wait to see what it was. I just ran. I sprinted down that path, not daring to look back, my own ragged breaths sounding like sobs in the silence. I didn't stop until I burst through the iron gates on the other side and was back under the warm glow of a streetlight. That night taught me that some boundaries are there for a reason, and some shortcuts just aren't worth taking. Thank you so much for listening to my story. I truly appreciate you spending your time here. If you enjoy these kinds of personal tales, feel free to follow or subscribe for more. Stay safe out there.